Poor dad walks into a boutique. What the owner did next will move you. What makes a man rich? Is it the money in his wallet or the love in his heart? In a world where people judge by appearances, what happens when kindness dares to see beneath the rags? My name is Sir Nicholas Bassa. Now sit down, relax, let me tell you a story. Stay with me to the end, because what one store owner did that day didn't just change a man's life. It changed everyone watching. And before we begin, hit subscribe to Echoes and Struggles, where real stories of pain, hope, and redemption remind us that humanity still breathes in this world. His name was Marcus Reed, 56 years old, from the east side of Detroit. Once, he had a small mechanic shop, the kind where customers called him Sir, and asked about his daughter's school. But things changed fast. When his wife passed from cancer, bills piled up. He sold his tools, then his truck. His daughter, Elena, barely 23, got engaged last spring. But she didn't invite him to the wedding. Not because she didn't love him, but because she was ashamed. Ashamed that her father, once proud, now wore torn jeans, a stained coat, and shoes with cardboard soles. That morning, Marcus stood outside a boutique called Luxline, where mannequins wore suits more expensive than the car he once owned. Through the glass, he saw fathers with shiny watches helping their sons adjust ties. He looked down at his reflection, cracked, tired, defeated. But still, love pushed him forward. He whispered, "I just want to look right for a big day." And with trembling hands, he stepped inside. The air inside smelled like cologne and polished leather. Every eye turned. Shoppers paused. A woman clutched her purse. The young cashier frowned. "Sir, this store," she began, but Marcus raised his hand gently. "I'm sorry, Mom. I don't mean no trouble. I just need a shirt, maybe a jacket. My daughter's getting married." The manager, Chloe Anderson, mid-30s, elegant in a beige suit, walked over. Her voice was calm but firm. "Sir, we don't accept walk-ins for donations. There's a shelter down the block." Marcus nodded quickly, his eyes fixed on the floor. "Please, I'm not asking for charity. I can sweep the floor, take out trash, anything. I just need to look decent for one day." A silence hung in the air. People whispered. Someone laughed quietly. Chloe's assistant muttered, "This isn't the place for that." But Chloe hesitated, because behind the dirt and torn sleeves, she saw something, a father's shame and love. Before she could respond, Marcus turned and walked toward the door, whispering, "Sorry for both Aaron y'all. Before we go further, tell me, what would you have done? Would you have stopped him? Or would you have looked away like everyone else did?" Drop your answer in the comments, because what happens next will test what we all call kindness. As Marcus stepped outside, Chloe called out, "Wait." He froze. She walked toward him, her heels echoing on the marble floor. "Sir," she said softly, "you said your daughter's getting married?" Marcus nodded. "Tomorrow. I ain't invited, but I just wanted to be there. Maybe from the back. She used to call me her hero." His voice cracked. Chloe felt something deep stir. A memory of her own father who worked double shifts and never once missed a school play. She turned to her assistant. "Bring me that navy suit, the one in the display." The assistant's eyes widened. "That's $1,000 piece." Chloe's voice was steady. "I didn't ask the price." Then she led Marcus to the fitting room. Inside, Marcus touched the fabric with disbelief. "Mom, I can't." "You can," she said, "because every daughter deserves to see her father proud." Minutes later, Marcus stepped out. The mirror reflected not just a man, but a memory restored. He looked taller, stronger. The same father who once carried his little girl on his shoulders at the county fair. Tears filled his eyes. "Ma'am, I don't have money." Chloe smiled gently. "Then pay it forward someday. That's how kindness works." The next afternoon, the wedding began at St. Mary's Hall. Marcus stood outside, behind the glass door, watching. He couldn't bring himself to walk in. Then someone opened the door. It was Elena, in her white dress, eyes wide with shock. "Dad," she whispered. He froze. "I didn't mean to crash. I just wanted to see you smile." She ran into his arms, crying, "I invited you, Daddy." The letter must have never reached. I thought you didn't want to come. The guests turned, watching the moment unfold. The groom's mother dabbed her eyes. Someone clapped. And there, in front of everyone, the man once mocked for his rags now looked like dignity itself. Later that evening, Chloe arrived. She had been invited by Elena, who learned what she did from a viral post shared by a bystander at the boutique. Chloe hugged Marcus and whispered, "You kept your promise." Marcus smiled. "You gave me back more than clothes. You gave me back my name." From that day, Marcus got a part-time job at the boutique, not as a janitor, but as a consultant for a new outreach program. Together, they started Second Chance Suits, collecting donated formal wear for struggling fathers trying to rebuild their lives. Months later, the boutique looked different. Rows of fresh suits filled one section, labeled the Marcus Collection. Each had a tag that read, "Because dignity never goes out of style." Marcus stood by the window, greeting men who came in, men who had once felt invisible, just like him. A reporter asked, "Mr. Reed, what made you start this?" He smiled. "Because one day, I walked into a store hoping for clothes, and walked out wearing kindness." So I ask you today, when someone walks into your life wearing their pain, will you shut the door, or will you look closer? Because sometimes, the ones we overlook carry the deepest stories, and one act of kindness can rewrite them all. If this story moved you, don't just scroll away. Share it, like it, and comment. Kindness goes on to spread the message. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Echoes and Struggles, where real hearts meet real hope. Because in the end, true wealth isn't found in what we wear, but in how we care.